Move past your past before your world around you moves on without you. One more time. Move past your past before your world around you moves on without you. Because moving on means letting go. You have to make peace with your past, or you shall forever be at war with all your tomorrows. If you're going through the motions, you're not moving at all. Move with a sense of purpose and conviction. You've got to let go of past experiences. That's what's tying you down and holding you up. You're getting stuck and hung up on these things. So you're preventing the universe from bringing new experiences into your life, because two things cannot occupy the same space at the same time in the physical. And that includes opportunities, possibilities, experiences, realities, relationships, interactions, observable experiences, and so on and so forth. People tend to get hung up on something of a negative nature because this satiates the morbid curiosity of the primordial egocentric imagination, because after all, beneath all the social pleasantries, we are all just running on caveman software. And that's the truest fact right there. So the individuals that manipulate and capitalize on this primordial element inside your physical mind do it for a reason: to dominate, govern, control, and condition you, to brainwash you, to manipulate you, to rule over your kingdom, to be the dominant force in your reality, because they know they can do it. And secondly, they know they can get away with it, because they know how predictably ignorant the human mind is. It follows the same comfortable familiarity. It doesn't like change. So if you continually find yourself in this self-sabotaging, self-destructive, negative, cyclical, looping pattern of detrimental behaviors, you've got to recognize it, identify it, and remove it, or else you're going to find yourself living in a broken record reality. It's just going to keep looping, just like Groundhog Day. One day wakes up, seems like the next. They just seamlessly tie into each other. It's like one long continuous day, to the point where you don't even know what day, month, week, or even year it is. And that's not a good thing. That means that's a clear indication you're not enjoying your life. You're not happy. You are doing things that are just bringing you great displeasure and the opposite of joy. So you've got to move past your past before your world around you moves on without you. And the first thing that you do to accomplish this is begin taking the tethers that tie you to these emotionally painful experiences from your past and sever them. And those come in the form of your feelings and your emotions. They are like, they are a life force that's animating something that should have been buried a long time ago, but more so, it's almost like you're feeding it intravenously. You're keeping it on life support when it should have been, you should have pulled the plug on it a long time ago. You're unnecessarily keeping something that should have been buried alive. Why? What good does it serve to do it? Another thing I want to mention: remove every toxic person from your life, even if they are your family. You have to learn to get to a place where you remove the title from the person. Mom, cousin, brother, sister, uncle, whatever. Remove that title and assess the individual as if they were a stranger, and ask yourself this very, very profound question: would I want you in my life? Do I want you in my life? And your answer more often than not is going to be no. Simply because they're your family, you give them carte blanche to do whatever they want to do in your life. And that's always of an abusive nature more often than not. So you have to learn. Remove every toxic person from your life and watch how fast your life begins to grow and blossom, flourish and rise, man. And awaken. Move past your past before the world around you moves on without you. You can't exist in the past anymore. You got to focus and live in the moment. And you do that by placing your energies where you desire your life to be, by living in alignment with the frequency of your dreams and aspirations. You have to create a space of love and know that it will be occupied by something you desire. But you cannot create that space if it's already occupied by something from the past. Again, two objects cannot occupy the same space at the same time in the physical. So if you have a room that's cluttered with garbage, like somebody who's a hoarder, and you want to get this brand new delivery coming in, where are you going to put it? Something's got to go. in order to make room for this thing coming in. It's common sense. So you got to get right with yourself. But you got to learn to let go. Move on. If somebody hurt you, if they used you, manipulated you, capitalized you, dominated you, monopolized you, abused you, physically abused you, you've got to come to terms with it. Some things are harder to get over than others. Some things you can get over and move on. Some things you just can't. Some wounds, the deepest wounds are the ones your eyes can't see. Those are the ones that hang inside your soul. Those tears hang inside your soul. Those are the heaviest tears that we shed that the eyes can't see. Some wounds were never meant to heal on earth in a single lifetime. Perhaps they were meant to be healed in heaven, because after all, on earth our hearts are broken, yet in heaven they are made whole once again. But heaven is not high above your head or somewhere in the future. Heaven is your soul, is your heart. So transmute that pain into pleasure. From wounds come wisdom, because that is indicative of your ability as a divine, supernatural, esoteric alchemist to transmute one form of energy into another. You have to remember that. It's elementary stuff. These are the very rudiments of metaphysics. And I'm not talking metaphysics in the books of science and human beings. I'm just using a term that is an earth word that you can understand the message I'm attempting to convey to you through this medium of this cell phone, which is a portal. Right now, I'm channeling energy from my universe through my heart into this device to which you are now connected to me, and you are listening, hopefully, or hearing, whichever you choose. But however it's done is irrelevant. The fact is that as long as it's being done, that's all that matters. And how you receive this energy, that's not my concern. I'm not the author of the message. I'm just its deliverer. So the universe is just allowing you to know, move past your past before your world around you moves on without you, because you're missing out. And that's not fair to you, because the true love you desire is the true love you deserve. And everything else, not just love, happiness, peace, joy, all of these things only you can give yourself. But you have to do something about it to make it happen, because it's not going to just explode and pop into your mailbox out of nowhere. That's why I always tout activation, not attraction, because the law of attraction is just mainstream media nonsense. That some lady appeared on Oprah years ago, wrote a book, and made hundreds of millions of dollars. And none of that stuff is true. They claim that if you're sitting in your car and you get hit by somebody, you attracted that car accident. Now, how is that? Using that state of mind and that way of thinking, let's put this into a grander scheme. Look at September 11th, 9/11. Did those people attract that? Or all the collateral damage in every war? All the casualties of war? Did they attract that? The Holocaust, slavery? Did they attract that? No. It's just nonsense. You cannot affect the free will of others, because you have chaos, frenetic energy, unpredictability. You have malevolence out there. There are many levels of darkness, only some of which are evil. But it is those evil levels that do what they do here in this physical realm. And they do it very well because human beings are susceptible to it. And they don't even know what to do to how to counter it. So you're busy fighting your inner demons when all along you should be starving them of their feast, which is your fear and your anger and your low negative energies. Because as I've said in many videos, as much as we are a part of the light, we are a part of the darkness. Equal, tantamount, one and the same, equidistant. There's nothing you can do about it. You could believe this and believe that, and it doesn't. Your beliefs are zero. You could believe that the sky is made of Swiss cheese and ice cream. It does not make it so. It doesn't change the fact that what we call a universe is going to continue to do what it's going to do way before we were ever created and long after we're gone. So what human beings think and feel and imagine is irrelevant to the grander scheme of all things universal. We're just a little speck on this map, this cosmic map. Think of humanity as a single grain of sand in an endless sea of sand. And that is the significance of humanity. It's inconsequential. We fight and bicker and argue and divide ourselves, and all these belief systems are nothing more than divisive mechanisms. They are the antithesis of consciousness. Consciousness is source. Source is oneness, unified interconnectedness with all things universal. This is the cohesive element of harmonic convergence. And when you attempt to separate yourself from that, conflict arises, because now you're trying to say that I'm going to write my own narrative, that I'm incapable of being negative. I don't have any evil in me. I'm not dark. I'm not bad. I'm not horrible. Yes, you are. Everybody is. You have a primitive locked inside you just like everybody else does. And there's nothing you can do about it. The only thing you can consciously do is choose to acknowledge the fact of its proximity to your soul, and don't feed it. But know that it's there. It's there for a reason. Because long, long ago, when we were prehistoric, Neanderthals and Cro-Magnon man, it was all predatory reflexes. And we needed that to survive, that primitive, those predatory instincts and impulses. That's what kept us alive back then. But now we live in a modernity, supposedly. I know we don't. Human beings are social creatures. By no means are they civil. When the power goes out, you watch the true nature of humanity emerge. And you watch who's who and what's what. And that's the truth. But anyway, move past your past before your world around you moves on without you. Moving on means letting go. If you're moving in a positive direction, God bless you. You're doing the right thing. You know? If you're moving just for the sake of motion, then it is no motion at all. You've got to move with a sense of purpose and reason. Or else what is it that you're doing? If you're going through the motions, you're not moving at all. And then what are you doing? You're unhappy. And you don't want that because you don't deserve it. You deserve the happiness that you've always desired. And you've got to bring that into your reality. And you do that by being a vibrational equivalent to the frequency of whatever it is you desire to manifest into physical form. It's nothing to do with attraction. Everything to do with activation. That's it, because it's right in front of you and it has been the whole time.